All right, so we're going to look at the symbolism in this card. First off, the sun, the fact that it's white, it is said that this is supposed to represent Kether within the Kabbalah. The fact that he has a white undershirt under his tunic symbolizes that he's pure at heart. That's why it's under his tunic. The red feather in his cap represents his passion for what he's going for. The white rose in his left hand represents his pure nature, his innocence. And the right bag, I believe, represents the reason why it's so small. Whenever you're going into a new path and a new journey, you don't quite know what you're even going in for. It's like packing for a vacation, and you don't know where you're going. You could either go to the Atlantic or you could go to the desert. You don't know what to pack for. That's kind of the Fool represents a mystery when it comes to what a new path can bring. So he doesn't have that much traveling with him. He doesn't need to. On the tunic, I'm truly not sure what they are. To me, I just think they look very free-flowing. They stick out on purpose because the Fool kind of always goes with his own way. Yellow in the background it's supposed to represent positive energy. In the background also, what we think is, for the longest time, I thought they were waves, like ocean waves, which they could be for some, but they're actually supposed to be mountains and snow. And that represents, you see how sunny and stuff it is where he is, and in the background it's all cold and there's a lot of mountains. That represents potential danger ahead in his journey that he must pay attention for, like a storm coming, or anything like that. And the white dog at his feet, again, that's purity essence, but also there just to remind him to pay attention to his surroundings, pay attention to where he's going on his journey, because the Fool can be very naive sometimes. So, all right, symbolism in the Magician card. So first off, his white robe, that represents purity, meaning that since he is the manifester, he is one, he can build from the ground up. His magic is pure. The red robe represents power and knowledge. In one hand, he holds a double-sided scepter. Well, candle. Some say it's a candle, some say it's a scepter. Just depends. And that represents him holding his magic to above. And you see his other finger pointing down. This is the symbolism of as above, so below. Meaning that everything around you, you are like the heavens as you are on the earth. And it acts like a conductor. On the table, you see all the symbols of the tarot, each suit, the wands, swords, pentacles, and cups. And that is his magic, showing that he can manifest anything within each of the elements. The red roses represent his desire, and the white lilies, representing thought, are surrounding him on the bottom. Above his head is the infinity symbol, and around his waist is a Ouroboros belt, both symbolizing infinity and an unlimited potential. He reminds us that we have everything we need to manifest our desires. And yellow is also positive energy. Okay, symbolism for the Empress. First off, we have the background. The yellow represents vitality, nature. And of course, the trees as well represents Mother Nature, the ability to grow from nothing, create life. You can see that she is sitting on a chair that looks very, very comfortable. The red represents sensuality. And it's also just to let you know that she is very luxurious. I mean, she's literally sitting out in the forest and, look at what she's sitting on. Very luxurious. The symbol under that with the heart, and that is the symbol of Venus, which is she is ruled by, and that also rules over Libra and Taurus. The very bottom, you can see there's wheat at her feet, and that represents fruitfulness and abundance, fertility. On her robe, so those are said to be pomegranates that are like cut in half, and that would emphasize her ability to have flourishment in femininity and production of children. That is one symbol of that. And also in the back we have the waterfall, and that is life-sustaining nourishment. It's really interesting because you just see it kind of runs to where her feet are. But, the 12 stars on her crown. The crown, of course, represents her regality. But the 12 stars represent the 12 zodiac, the 12 months, and the 12 hours. As a creator of life, life cycles through all of these that I mentioned. Am I missing anything? No, I don't think so. But yeah, one thing I think is interesting though, if you look on her robe, you can see there's blue, like at the bottom, blue on it, a little bit of yellow, and green. Now, I think those are supposed to represent the elements as well. All four of the elements mixed with the red, which would make perfect sense. But yeah, that's the Empress. Start with the Emperor. First off, we'll start in the back. The red-orange sky is signifying passion and energy. Underneath his robe, he's wearing armor, which means that he's always ready for battle. The red represents his passion and drive, but also war and blood. You can see on one hand he is holding a scepter, and that is an ankh, and it represents life. And in the other hand, he is holding a golden apple, and that is supposed to also symbolize his power and life. Whenever you're looking at the Emperor, remember he is just the counterpart of the Empress. So a lot of his symbolism is actually just very masculine version of the Empress. Behind him, you can see that there are orange mountains, and this represents his protection and his barriers, because he's a very, very authoritative and protective person. His long beard represents his wisdom and maturity. Of course, the actual, on both sides, his throne, that is the symbol for Aries, which is what he rules over. And if you look at the very bottom, you can see tiny little blue on the left side. That is supposed to be actually a river. It's very hard to catch though if you don't really pay attention and deep dive into the cards. The river is supposed to represent still a little bit of femininity, because like I said, he is the counterpart of the Empress. So that still represents kind of easing when it comes into who he is. When I say easing, I mean that he does have soft spots. Very hard to notice and see, as you can see in the card, but they're there. And of course, the crown is his actual authority of who he is. Definitely really, really like the Emperor, no doubt.